Not too long ago, Disney released a video announcing that Ariel from the live-action Little Mermaid would be in Disneyland to do the meet and greets with that version of the character. But they specified very clearly that it would be for a limited time. I'm assuming that when that limited time is over, they're going to be going back to meet and greets with the animated version of Ariel. And they probably did that because they know with their live-action remakes of animated films, people are going to forget the live-action version pretty quickly, but everyone's still going to remember the animated version decades later. When people say they want more diverse Disney princesses, they don't mean that they want knockoffs of the white Disney princesses with expiration dates. Not too long ago, I released a video about the romance in the animated Little Mermaid, and I said in that video that I don't think I'll be watching the live-action Little Mermaid in theaters. And I thought maybe I'll do a video about the live-action remake when it comes to Disney+. Then I had a little bit of trouble publishing my Little Mermaid video because I'm pretty sure Disney has been getting their automated system to be more sensitive to Little Mermaid footage and block those videos more because of all the bad press surrounding the live-action Little Mermaid, so they just don't want videos about the Little Mermaid out there right now. So I had to trim down the footage in that quite a bit before it would pass through. And then I thought, well, with all of that in mind, there's no way I'm going to make a video that uses footage from the Little Mermaid. So what's the point of waiting until it comes to Disney+? So then, for the sake of making a review, of course, I thought about watching the live-action Little Mermaid in theaters. But what's the point? There's already so many other people making videos about how terrible the live-action remake is. You have 100 other people saying that the CGI is creepy, Scuttle is annoying, the film drags on for too long. If you want videos talking about that, there's a million of them out there for you to enjoy, so what's the point in me making a video where I would just be saying the same things everyone else is saying? So what's the point of actually watching the live-action Little Mermaid, so I haven't seen it? So instead, let's talk about race. I know a lot of other people have been saying this, but the idea that it's racist to not like the live-action Little Mermaid is a complete lie. The same people who hate the live-action Little Mermaid also love Encanto. Animated Disney films are not getting the same backlash. I love Raya and the Last Dragon, I love Encanto, and I'm super excited for Wish, the next animated film from Walt Disney Animation Studios. I think that has a lot of potential. It sounds really good. The animation looks beautiful. I'm a bit worried about the talking goat being annoying, but other than that, the trailer for Wish looks super interesting. And the main character in that looks gorgeous. I don't know how interesting of a character she is yet, but I'm hoping she'll be great. And there's no pre-existing version of that movie to begin with, so it's not like you can say she's supposed to have red hair. And the music in that trailer is so good. It's like if you listen to the lyrics in that song, it sounds like the stereotype of Disney princess songs where she's singing about wanting more or wishing for more, but the way she sings it and the melody is so grand that you just don't care how cliche it sounds. I'm also super excited for the Tiana series coming to Disney+. As I've indicated in previous videos, I was not blown away by Princess and the Frog, but I want to see better from Tiana. I think the Twisted Tale Almost There was a bit better. It had a few things that were kind of but other than that, I liked it well enough. Disney's Twisted Tales are books set in alternate timelines, if you didn't know. And with the animated Disney princess films that have a non-white Disney princess, it's not just a different skin color, it's different cultures that these films are set in. In Encanto, Raya and the Last Dragon, Moana, there's all this architecture and fashion that you don't see in other Disney princess films. There's references to their histories. In Encanto, the Colombian style is entrenched into the singing and the dancing. In Raya and the Last Dragon, there's a ton of martial arts. In Princess and the Frog, people have that 1920s New Orleans way of talking. But the live-action Little Mermaid doesn't have any of that. It's just a worse version of what's already been done before. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that certain other cultures are better than Western cultures. What I'm saying is variety is the spice of life. Instead of making yet another terrible live-action Disney remake, they could have been making an original Disney princess film in live-action set in Africa with an African princess, and it probably would have been better than live-action Little Mermaid. The impression I've been getting from Disney lately is they know that the animated films are the real selling points of their brand. So with those films, they let them go all out with creativity, and the live action films are the ones that have to be beholden to the animated films. So those are the ones that they have more restrictions on, and yet they try to make these changes that just don't work. The live action Disney remakes are like trying to put a square block into a circle hole. They're trying to follow these stories that were made for a short movie length, but they try and make them longer without changing the story. And they have these scenes that they're recreating that take advantage of the fact that it's an animated film, and they do it in live action, and it doesn't work. And of course, these live action versions can't compete with the animated versions, so they don't even try. To me, the ultimate example of that is the scene in Beauty and the Beast where the Beast walks into the light. In the animated version, he does it real slowly, and you see the light creeping up his body all the way to his face. In the live action version, it's so quick, and it's just, here's his stupid face that's immediately shown real quick with no big musical anything. Another thing with these live action Disney remakes is they want to cover up the plot holes of the animated films, but they also want to stick with the animated film story so closely that they still create those plot holes in the first place. And the result is either disaster or time wasting. The ultimate example of that is the staff being cursed in Beauty and the Beast. It's a plot hole that the castle's staff gets cursed along with the beasts even though they didn't deserve it. So what they do is they throw in this really bad exposition about them deserving to be cursed because they didn't stop the king from abusing the prince. Which, okay, first of all, how are they supposed to stop the king from abusing whoever he wants? And second of all, everyone in the staff was guilty of that. Everyone in the staff knew about that and could have stopped it, but didn't. Chip, the child, knew about that and could have stopped it, but didn't, and thus deserved to be cursed. That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. And third of all, the enchantress who cursed the beast knew about all of that and didn't give them their tests to see whether or not they would be cursed. She tested the prince to see whether or not he would be cursed, but then because he fails, they're all punished. So what they should have done to fix the plot hole, if they wanted to fix the plot hole, was change things so that the plot hole didn't exist in the first place. They could have said that the enchantress was an evil witch who had no right to curse the entire staff, but she did because she was so vain. Or they could have said that the castle staff was always objects and furniture, and it was just the beast who was cursed, so that way they wouldn't have had to deal with the morality of the enchantress cursing the staff too. So if these live action films aren't going to match the animated film's quality at their own game, then they should just do their own thing. Make new Disney princesses, why not? It's not like only Walt Disney Animation Studios is capable of making a Disney princess. Not only is there Brave from Pixar, which as a movie, Brave wasn't great, but Merritt as a character is pretty good, and she's become a welcome addition to the Disney princess lineup. In my opinion, the most underrated Disney princess is Elena, who, from the most unlikely place, I expected Elena of Avalor to be horrible because it aired on Playhouse Disney, I think it's called. But it's surprisingly not bad. There's a few dud episodes here and there, but overall, Elena of Avalor is not as bad as you would expect. It has a lot more to it than you would expect, and there is a lot of Mexican culture that's been put into Elena of Avalor. There's the flamenco dresses and the mariachi bands, And there's the Day of the Dead episodes that they do every season. I think it's every season. And Elena is one of the few Disney princesses who actually kills somebody on purpose and doesn't feel bad about it afterwards. So that's nice. Giselle from Enchanted didn't enter the Disney Princess lineup, but I heard the reason why is because her contract stipulated that she was the only person who could play Giselle, which meant that they couldn't have other people playing her at the Disney parks. So I've heard that's the reason why she wasn't added to the Disney Princess lineup, but they could just negotiate a different contract in the future with different live-action Disney Princess movies. There's so many different diverse things that live-action Disney Princess films could be doing with so many different types of people, but they won't, because they'd rather do remakes of superior animated films.